We knew we'd be keeping an eye on Canadians on the move now because there are some players who are either out of contract, who have been on loan, looking for more playing time. And the big one, of course, is Jonathan David. Gentlemen, is that them on the move?
Just on the move.
He was going, though. He was like, straight back.
Usain wheels. That's it.
Usain out here.
Yeah. Usain wheels. Oh, dear. Anyways, as we try to be serious here about Jonathan David, a lot of rumors have been swirling about where he could land, and a lot of it seems to be pointing towards Italy. So maybe you can make your way to Italy there, Wheels, with your little guy on the go. First, it was Napoli, where apparently something was agreed to verbally, but now we're hearing the most recent reports actually have Jonathan David linked to Juventus. So what is the latest there, Wheels?
Well, La Gazzetta dello Sport has Jonathan David on the front cover of the sports section today, saying that there's firm interest from Juventus. It's not every day you see, by the way, a Canadian player wearing Canada's kit on the cover of an Italian sports section, basically saying Juventus wants Jonathan David. He wants Juventus, except agent fees are coming into the way for that are prohibiting Jonathan David in getting this deal to Juventus over the line, which I think that, if true, is exceptionally unfortunate because David right now is committing himself to playing for Canada. You know his love for the game and what this career path means to him, just kind of the trajectory that he's on. And if agents' fees upwards of 15 million euros to just get that deal over the line.
15?
15 million euros to get over the line. Seems like a lot of money just to process that transaction and for the work that's done through his agency. I think that at a time like this, a player understanding that his agent is acting in his best interest needs to understand that going to a club like Juventus is like a once-in-a-career opportunity. For all the clubs that David has legitimately been linked to, Juventus seems like an absolute peach. It just seems like an exceptional landing spot. 36 times Scudetto champions, Scudetto winners. They're playing in the Champions League next year. New manager Igor Tudor, and they're going through a little bit of a rebuild right now by young players like Conceição and Yildiz. Like, there's some talent there, and I think that they're going to be on the ascendancy. Like, this is the way that club works. They take a step back, but it's not 2 or 3. Generally, they get things right and are able to take the project forward. They're phenomenally popular as well in terms of their global brand recognition. Just even within Canada, there is a massive Juventus followings across the board. So it's just a huge club in Italian football where I think that style suits Jonathan David as well. So this seems to be something to get excited about. Now let's hope like the agent and business and all of that stuff doesn't come between Jonathan David and potentially making a dream move for the next step in his career.
Sorry, the reason I'm laughing is just Andy with your 15-year playing career and your contracts, like these agents, man. Just get it over the line. Get it done.
Honestly, they get in the way. Oftentimes, your agent can be the greatest thing for you, or it can really go the other way, and they could be the reason why you get a bad reputation.
The window's closing. The window's closing. And I think, like, I'm going to take the positive approach, but I totally agree. We could have a whole segment on agents. But what we're really going to focus on is the Iceman, right? And the fact that Wheels alluded to it is so true. This would be the perfect marriage. When you have a checklist, and players do when you're leaving from one club to the next, and furthermore, Jonathan David said bye to Lille, right? So you know that he is going and moving on and wants to get a new deal. When you go through the checklist, however many sections that might be, let's say it's 7, you may have all of them for him. He'll be the guy, or he'll be a part of the striking force. It's not like he's coming off the bench. He'll be competing for minutes and being the guy. A club that's rich in history, playing Champions League. Like, you look at them this past season, they only had 4 losses, but they tied a lot of games. He's a match winner that they're going to pick up. Like, this for me, Wheel said it already, but I have to just echo that sentiment. Napoli, the Inter, like Milan, you're like, okay, you could see it working and you trust his quality. But Juve is actually the marriage I could say, they can go the distance. This could be a nice little 5 years. And he's 25. This will be the club that pays him the most, but he probably has his best years of football. I see this going over the line really soon. As long as his agent can work that out.
Yeah, I mean, I believe they only scored 58 goals in Serie A last season. Vlahovic, Kolomuani both struggled to a certain degree. Both of their futures are up in the air. They're playing at the Club World Cup. I believe they played Man City on Wednesday as well. It's just, I would hate, Andy, to see David have to accept an inferior club to someone like Juventus because agent fees. They're trying to
ridiculous.
Get a couple more, a couple more million euro out of the deal.
Ridiculous.
For me, there's an arrangement, there's a solution to be made, and I just don't want a player like David to miss out on an opportunity like this. Like I said, I think it's just about the perfect club for him.
Great. I still obviously will always have Napoli as the vote. By the way, Napoli, reigning winners, they only scored 59 goals. So they could use the goal scoring touch, better defense, obviously, than
Juventus is a better club. I'd rather go to Juventus.
Don't poke the bear. Look at her.
Do you want me to pull the bear out again and then knock everything off my shelf again?
It was from a look. It wasn't even strength. You looked too hard and everything started crashing down.
I just don't want everything to fall. If you guys missed that episode, that was from a year or two ago. We're not going to relive it.
5 years ago.
I still have the mark on my counter for where everything fell. Another player reported to be on the move here, Jordo, that would be Nathan Saliba, apparently leaving CF Montreal to join Belgian club Anderlech on a 4-year deal. Do you think it's a good move for the 21-year-old midfielder?
Yeah, and honestly, I don't spend that much time watching the Belgian league as well, but look at the product that comes from it and look at the moves. It's with all due respect, that feeder league that where you go to France, you go to Italy, you go to England after, and you're playing good games week in and week out. This would be great for him. Obviously, right now, being 21, a year out from a World Cup and a CF Montreal side that isn't the best, to go there to a new country, to cross over the Atlantic, to be tested, I think this would be fantastic for him. And I also think with his stature, the way that he plays, we could see a different Nathan Saliba 6 months from now, a year from now, and that would be him getting ready to peak at the right time.
Time to get out of Montreal, really. I know he's still 21. They've been patient with him. He's played a lot of first-team football, which is a good thing. But the way the season's gone for CF Montreal and the trajectory that they're and the path that Montreal's on right now, that compared to Saliba, it seems like Montreal is stuck in neutral and Saliba's career is blossoming and has the potential to skyrocket. Get to Europe. Anderlech, again, I think they've won the most titles in Belgian football. I believe it's 34. This is a big club that hasn't won in the last 6 or 7 seasons. And they're trying to get back to the top of Belgian football, which, to Jordan's point, has been altogether very competitive in recent years. I think he'll get a chance to play in a midfield. I believe that Dendoncker was on there on loan. Ritz, some older players. I think they need some young blood, some athleticism in that position. I think that Saliba brings that to the table. And there's always the track record now of Canadian players going to Belgian football and having a level of success. David Buchanan, promise David now. It seems like it's a good place where Canadian agents and Canadian footballers do have connections to. It seems like Belgium is much more open to the idea of bringing Canadian players and allowing them to feature prominently within their setups, more so than a lot of other European nations. So this seems to be a logical stop. Again, a big club and a big opportunity, and I can't wait to see how we can take advantage of this potential opportunity.
Yeah, we know we have around 10 players right now on the men's national team who are looking to make moves, right? Because they're either out of contract or have been on loan somewhere. And it's all about getting that playing time. Whatever moves they make, we just want to see them getting that playing time, as all roads, of course, lead to the 2026 World Cup.